I was sitting on the bedroom floor when I realized my life was no longer mine. The lights were off. The room was quiet, and my phone felt heavier than it ever had before. I kept refreshing the banking app, hoping the number would change, hoping I was wrong, hoping this was some kind of temporary error. It wasn't. The savings account was almost empty. The account we called our future, the account where every plan we ever made lived. Just that morning, he had kissed my forehead before leaving for work and said we were finally close to buying the house. He sounded excited, confident, certain. I believed him without hesitation now. My hands were shaking so badly I had to put the phone down on the floor beside me. I felt cold. Even though the room wasn't, my chest felt tight, like the air had suddenly become too thick to breathe. I remember thinking very calmly, this cannot be really. Picked the phone back up and started scrolling. Transaction after transaction: hotel charges, expensive dinners, luxury stores I had never been to, transfers to accounts I didn't recognize, small amounts at first, then bigger ones spread out over weeks, then months. He hadn't taken everything at once, he had taken it slowly, quietly, carefully. Money I worked overtime for, money I skipped vacations for, money I saved instead of spending on myself, money I trusted him with. I didn't cry right away, I just stared. Numb somewhere deep inside, a part of me already knew the truth. I just wasn't ready to accept it yet. We met 6 years earlier, and back then he felt like safety. He spoke with confidence, always seemed to have a plan, always knew what to say when I felt unsure about the future. He talked about responsibility, about being smart with money, about building something solid together that mattered to me. I wanted stability, I wanted a life that felt secure. When we got married, combining finances felt natural, like a symbol of trust, like proof that we were a team. He offered to manage everything, said he was good with numbers, said I didn't need the stress. I agreed without thinking twice. Every paycheck I earned went straight into our joint account, savings, emergency fund, long-term goals. I felt proud of us. I felt protected. Looking back now, that was the moment I slowly disappeared from my own financial life. I stopped checking balances, stopped asking questions, stopped paying attention whenever a doubt crossed my mind. I pushed it away. Marriage is about trust, I told myself. Love means believing. There were signs, small ones, easy to ignore: bills arriving later than usual, him getting irritated when I asked simple questions, mood changes that came and went without explanation. Sometimes he came home late, said work was stressful, said I wouldn't understand, and I accepted that because questioning him felt like questioning the marriage, and I wasn't ready to do that. The night everything collapsed, I didn't sleep. I lay there next to him, staring at the ceiling, replaying every transaction in my mind, every dollar, every lie. When he woke up, he acted normal, too normal. Later that day, I asked him about the account. I tried to keep my voice steady. He laughed, said I was overthinking, said I didn't understand finances then. I showed him the screen. The color drained from his face. The silence that followed was louder than any confession. That silence told me everything. There was another woman, not a mistake, not a moment of weakness. A second life, trips, gifts, hotel rooms paid for with our savings, paid for with my future. I felt something inside me break in a way I had never felt before. This wasn't just emotional betrayal, this was calculated. He knew I trusted him, he knew I wouldn't check, and he used that. The days that followed blurred together. I cried in the shower so no one could hear me, in the car before going inside, anywhere, on the kitchen floor. When the house felt too quiet, I wasn't just mourning him, I was mourning the life I thought I had, the plans, the sense of safety. Money isn't just money when you lose it like this. It's freedom, it's security, it's peace of mind. When I spoke to a lawyer, the truth became even heavier. Most of the money was gone, unrecoverable. Years of discipline erased quietly. The marriage ended not long after I packed my things with hands that felt unfamiliar. I left behind a home that never really existed. Starting over felt terrifying. Every bank notification triggered anxiety. Every bill felt personal. Trust didn't come easily anymore. Neither did sleep. I replayed everything in my head. Every red flag I ignored. Every time I chose comfort over clarity. Love should never require blindness. Trust should never mean silence. I am rebuilding now, slowly, carefully, with boundaries, with awareness, and with the understanding that love should never cost you your future.